Hello there. How are you doing today? Well, I decided that I would have this little chat with you today. I hope your day has been wonderful and I hope everything is going good for you. Now, I want to let you all know you are not crazy. I want that to sit for a second. You are not crazy. I don't care what people have said to you. I don't care how people even make you feel. A lot of times we go through things in this life and we don't know how we're going to make it. We don't know what's the next move always. We don't always have it figured out. And sometimes when we get out there and try to do everything in our power to make stuff happen, it don't always go according to plan. So what happens? We get frustrated, we get burned out, we get beside ourselves, we find ourselves at a crossroads, and while we're going through the process, people have the audacity to formulate an opinion about our process. They have the audacity to put their 2 cents into what we're trying to accomplish and how we should do it and what they would do. Yeah, that's easy for you to say what you would do if you was in my situation. Because you on the outside. You're not in it. You're not putting my shoes on every day as I take that one foot in front of the other. No, you're not doing that. You're sitting back on the sidelines judging. You're sitting there taking score of whether or not I'm winning or losing in life. But don't listen to those people because guess what? You ain't crazy. You go through some little changes in your life. Hey, you're going to go through changes when you come out of a relationship. You're going to go through changes when you lose a job. You're going to go through changes trying to lose weight. You're going to go through changes trying to figure out what to do next. When you relocate, when you change schools, when you change majors, when you change, um, mm, when you make different decisions and changes in your life, that's going to happen. But you're not crazy. And guess what? You still winning. You still winning. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not winning. You're winning. You're winning because you getting up there. You getting out there. You working hard. You making it happen. Okay. Granted, all of us have different personalities. We all don't fall into the line of normal as most people would want us to be. You know, society has their little rules and expectations of what we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to become, what we're supposed to be at a certain age. Think about it. Society kind of looks at you weird because you're not married by 40. You're 40 years old, you're 35 years old, still married, still single, no children. There's something wrong with you. No, there isn't. You're not crazy. You have the right to choose your path, your journey, and your direction. You know why? Because when you go back to the mirror, you got to look back at the person looking back at you. Everybody else in the world don't have to look in the mirror to look at you. You do. You're the one that have to face yourself at the end of the day. Okay? So don't ever think of yourself as crazy and unusual. Okay, I know for many young people, and I remember being a teenager, we don't always fit in. We're misfits, we have different ways of seeing things, different ways of doing things, and people have a way of making you feel like there's something wrong with you because you're not always on the same page of the majority. You're not always into things that usually are popular with most people. So people tend to make us feel like we're crazy. And then look at the world we live in. We're now in a society that puts heavy emphasis on mental health. And because those emphasis are put there, we tend to sometimes question ourselves as, am I losing my mind? Am I crazy? Am I a little off? Is there something? Listen to me. I want you to hear me good. Whenever you are of sound mind enough to be able to ask yourself, are you going crazy? Or are you losing your mind? Are you doing too much? Trust me, you're not crazy. You have entered crazy. Let me tell you something. I believe most of the time people, when they are in a state of crazy, is when they're in a place where they really don't know what's going on. They don't know what to call it. And they're not of sound mind to be able to gauge whether or not they're losing it or not. To me, that's crazy. That's when you have entered crazy. And there's no telling what in this life can make us crazy. Losing a loved one can make you crazy. Going through a divorce can make you crazy. Getting some bad news can make you crazy. Oh my gosh, life events. People are losing their homes, and people are going through tornadoes and surviving hurricanes and oh my gosh, I remember someone telling me a story about a man that found his daughter dead. He hasn't heard from her in days. And when he finally gets to her apartment, he gets through and finds that his daughter is no more. They didn't go into details of what the daughter looked like, whether or not she's been attacked, bruised, nothing. They just said the man found his daughter dead. And it devastated the man so much that he began to start talking like a child. That's crazy. That situation was enough to take that man clear out of his mind. And it can happen to any of us. It can. There's no telling what can take us out of our mind. But I want to say to you in the meantime, you're not crazy. You're not. You're who you are. You do things the way you do. You see things the way you see them. You believe what you believe and stick to that. Stick to that until you know better. Stick to that until your eyes are open and you are thoroughly convinced that you need to go a better route. Don't harm yourself. Don't harm no one else. You're not crazy. You have your own unique way of being. You're who you are. And that ought to be good enough for you. All right? So have a beautiful day. Have a wonderful life. Make the right decisions and keep the right people in your space. Have a nice day.